Mic check 2.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Check 3 4. Check 3 4.
Oh wow, good volume.
Yeah,
good levels
All
for
right.
you, which is rare.
It is because I'm very slow.
You're soft spoken.
I'm very soft. I'm like, hey, listen, guys, it's all good.
Yeah, don't do that.
All right, so you need me a little bit more louder, even though I don't get loud.
More louder.
More louder. Fuck, is this like Jeff Foxworthy louder?
I don't want to get a noise complaint. I don't want to get a noise complaint.
Shit. All right, fine.
Because I had 3, and we don't want to talk about how that happened.
Actually, we do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, no.
So
we
anyway,
will get that
everybody,
story later.
Maybe. So anyway,
5
everybody,
minutes,
wait.
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Well, so if you can't tell, behind bars, barbarians. That's Chance the author. Welcome to episode 3 of Counterpoints.
Hey.
And we got Chance here. We're going to talk about his interview, what he thought of it, if he regretted anything, if he forgot anything, any other sort of thoughts on his interview, and anything that's kind of happened to him since we last spoke. A lot? All right. Chance, what's going on, buddy? How are you?
What's up? How you doing, man? Missed you.
Oh, missed you, buddy. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, you've had many changes that have befallen you.
I've been busy, to say the least.
Changing jobs. You acting in any more shows?
No, but never say never, right?
Oh, no, absolutely. You'll be back in. I still have to see the episode. I'm waiting for it to come out on Netflix because I'm cheap.
I give the best shoulder of 2021.
Nice.
Guaranteed.
All right.
Guaranteed. Like, that's a category.
2021? Is that when you shot?
2021. No.
Oh, wow. All right. That's actually a pretty fast turnaround for a show.
For both, actually. For Yellowstone and for Better Call Saul.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let's get to it, man. Your interview. We covered you on Better Call Saul. We covered you doing treasure hunting.
Forrest Fenn, yep.
Yeah, we did the serial killer.
Yeah, Wayne Nance.
We did the Prince show.
Prince. It's just the symbol.
And just the symbol. Yeah. What else did we do that we didn't talk about?
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm supposed to talk about like, man, what I wish is that I didn't have as much ADHD as I actually still do today.
Do you not have Adderall?
I do.
Do you not take it?
So, funny story is, yes, I've taken Adderall now for 17 years, and it's actually changed my life in the greatest way, right? Because I needed it from a long time ago. And my parents knew when I was younger that I was definitely ADHD. But
you must have been a handful, dude. You're all over the place.
Yep.
Yeah, I can see that.
Correct. Yep. And so imagine my wife, who's been married to me for a long time, having to deal with that person that she loves. But then finally when the medicine works and she's like, holy shit, that works. Yeah, it was good.
I used to have a script, and then something happened where I don't have the script anymore, and you can probably fill in the blanks on why I don't have the script.
Drugs.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have to pee in a cup. Anyway, damn it. I miss it. But I've been functioning without it for like 5 months now. And I think I got it under control. I'm good.
Good, man.
Yeah. So anyway, now that we've talked about Adderall, never makes me feel bad at all. So what did you think of your interview overall? I'm going to tell you, it had a tremendous response. We had a lot of listeners. It's up there. It's in probably the top 5 shows.
I was actually, what I did do was, talked to people close to me and had them listen to it. And they gave me really good feedback. Nothing bad ever. I mean, these are friends that are going to give me shit no matter what. And that's when I kind of knew that, that something was good and was good. So I listened to it. It took me maybe a month after you did it, even though I was probably bugging you for it. It was more just for, people I knew. When I finally listened to it, I was like, yeah, it actually worked out. I hate my voice, right? I think a lot of
Everybody
people say
says that.
Yeah.
They go, I can't believe I sound like that. My buddy Jesse, when he recorded it and he told the same story 9 times, because he always does that, he never realized that he did that because people are always just polite and they nod and pretend it's like the first time they heard the story.
Sure.
He goes, I'm going to quit drinking. And he quit drinking for like 2 weeks because he was so like shocked and like appalled at like the way he communicates when he's under the influence. So, yeah, you have that reaction. Like, I don't like my voice. I say a lot of, people just, you're not aware,
It's all little things that, probably people that pick apart or regularly, actually, people wouldn't know or care about. But it's something you're like, oh, I see that. I hear that. Wow.
But I will say that was one of the most edited of all the episodes. I think we did like an hour and 20, and I got it down to 40.
ADHD.
Yeah, it's audio. They got to hear you. They got to hear you, buddy.
ADHD.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. So, yeah, AC/DC.
I was listening to AC/DC, that song Thunderstruck.
Yes, it's a great song.
Then it occurred to me, AC/DC, you can't get struck by thunder. It's lightning.
It's lightning right
He's wearing that schoolboy uniform, but he's clearly skipping science class.
Oh, hey, speaking of which, since we're doing counterpoints,
Yeah.
so I don't think we talked about this, and you might know this from reading my book. I'm not saying you read my book. I'm not saying you remember
Oh,
it.
I read it. It's great.
But neither here nor there, right? Strange Paths We All Follow by Chance J.J. Edrick,
Available everywhere books are sold.
Esquire. And so, one of those things when you think kind of back on the days and thinking, damn it, now we're going to have to edit because Derek's stuff hits right now.
Hold on.
And,
I disagree.
oh, so this is where it gets
My
good.
neighbor's going to hate that. So what were we talking about? No, they hate it even more. I'm moving the buzzer.
Yeah. So
you had a good night tonight. You came in down to about 11 beers.
was it that many?
It was that many.
Shit. Sometimes I don't do that. So I haven't actually. Here's a funny thing.
I'm impressed, dude. I can't do that.
I actually pretty much stopped drinking, and maybe we talked about this at the end of my podcast. So maybe this all fits on that. I don't think so though, but because I think we started on the. But I really haven't been drinking. Like it's been kind of nice. It's been kind of less travel, less stuff in my life, and I don't need to drink at home. I'm pretty happy at home, so it's been very nice. What's kind of sucks is that update. I got a job from another job, and that job probably is going to lead me to drink again.
Is it? I've always said like that's why I've been able to bartend for so long is because I don't really drink because I just alcohol to me is like a primitive drug. It's been around since forever. They figured it out early. It's poison.
It is.
It makes you clumsy, embarrassed, like ashamed the next day. You got to put together your life like Jason Bourne the next morning. You're like, oh God, did I? Oh God! And then at 2:00, the apology texts start going out when you look at your phone. You get your receipts.
Unless
did you bring your phone? Did you lose it?
Really apologize.
I just don't like it. It's too late to apologize. Too late
to apologize.
He always misses that first
Too
syllable.
Late.
Yeah.
Is that good audio? Bad audio?
No, it's great audio.
Here audio, there audio.
Yeah, you hit the note. So you get the new job, and it's going to drive you to drink.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Has drove me to drink.
What is your job?
With Greg.
I don't even know.
Here's the great thing about my job is that no one in my life, and I've done the same job for 20-some years, but no one in my life knows what I do.
I don't know what you do.
Right.
Do you know what you do?
I mean, I have a fair conception of what I do, and I have to tell people that I do that so that it falls within certain regulations.
But you don't actually do what you say you do.
No, I actually do.
Oh, you do? Okay. Because I have this theory about when you go on a job interview, how you always lie, and then
what's the guy with Congress? Oh, everybody in Congress.
Yeah.
But the most recent guy in Congress is what you're talking about. Yeah.
But nobody does what they said they were going to do, or what was their job description. You don't
They did
really
not
do that.
wrangle 8 UFOs. That is incorrect, folks. Do not believe that shit.
I don't believe it. No, I totally believe in UFOs.
No, I believe in UFOs, but don't believe when he said he wrangled 8. He probably couldn't have wrangled 1.
No, as UFO wranglings go, 8's a lot.
Yeah.
8 is enough.
Back to the back to the interview.
Yeah,
I have something
that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, I have something I need to clear up.
Okay, let's clear it up.
Greg.
Correction corner.
Yeah, correction corner on the countertop.
Yeah, on
At the
Counterpoints.
correction corner on the Corian countertop.
Yes. What's the correction?
So you made a quip about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky. And
Monica Lewinsky? Who's that? Oh, you mean Monica Lewinsky?
Yeah, Monica Lewinsky.
Hi, Kalonica.
Yeah, hi, yes. Her.
Okay.
You made a joke, and it had to do with,
Oh, yeah, when you were working in Washington.
in D.C., and you're like, how many blowjobs did you give? Well, I'll be honest with you, probably half of my viewership came from that joke.
Oh, wow.
So, that's so funny.
Which is weird, because we don't even do a visual podcast, so to have viewership is amazing. Yeah. Oh, do you mean listenership?
Yeah, listenership, yeah.
Okay, so wait, half the audience liked that joke?
Yeah, well, they just like that you told that about me. Because
Oh, okay,
apparently half of the fucking people I know think that I just give blowjobs at the fucking White House.
Oh, nice.
And that's not true.
No, it's not true. But if you're going to give blowjobs, you want to give them in the White House.
Yellow House is cool. Fucking Black House is
Yeah,
cool. Like the
wherever
way
you
you... Why do you...
Blowjobs are cool anywhere.
Do
let's be
not
honest.
regulate to house colors.
No.
Anyways, I just want to point something out and make something clear. No, I do not know Bill Clinton. And no, I do not own a blue dress. So please stop sending me death threats and bad Instagram tweets.
Bad Instagram tweets?
Yeah, you know who you are, dude.
You know what was great, too? Like the Freudian slip, you said, I do not know Blue Clinton.
Yes.
Like you blew Clinton.
Right, his brother.
There it is again.
His famous brother blew.
Who am I thinking of? Oh, Roger. Roger's he's the
Roger
the Jeb Bush of
was
Bill Clinton.
he was the middle. But Blue was the real badass. Like, actually, not your viewers are going to be interested in this, but here's the true tidbit, viewers, sceners,
Listeners.
God, we're going to get those right someday. People who are here with us philosophically. It's pretty amazing, but I forgot what I was totally going on and talking to you about. So we'll get back to that.
We're talking about Bill Clinton.
Yes.
We're talking about
clues. Bam,
These are
boom,
clues.
boom. Damn it, still lost it.
Oh, God, your brain is like a ride at Disney.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it really is.
It works like...
Never enter.
Like a pinball machine.
Yeah.
Like you make connections sideways. Like I make them sideways, but I can see like your pathways kind of connecting and disconnecting and like the focus goes. It's pretty interesting.
I'd like to take this next 30 seconds as an advertisement to my wife. And this is to say sorry, because everything Greg said, you've lived through and knew that and stuff. The last 7 years with Adderall has been a lot better.
Yeah.
Adderall.
Never makes me feel bad at all.
Boom, boom. So.
Is she going to hear this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
well, you have to be a patron. It's on Patreon.
Fuck.
I'll give you the file.
Yeah. All right. Well, or just make this episode 53. Who cares, right?
It's got 3 exclamation points. So we were talking about something that we weren't going to talk about.
Right. Let's never talk about that again.
I think I might talk about it.
Let's talk about it this time.
So yesterday marks the day of freedom for me after a 2-month odyssey.
Fuck, Greg.
Should I do this?
Yeah, and so here's the real deal, listener, scener, person on the other side of this voice. Greg has lived many lives. As you've heard, and hopefully you've gone back and in case you haven't Patreon, because guys put his heart and soul in there, dude. I mean, I Patreon 6 times already this week, so you can Patreon one time. So, dude, you got to understand, Greg's put his heart and soul in all this, and you got to know that.
You got to know that. Well, oh, suspense, dramatic pause. What do we got to know?
Some shit that I'm going to talk about eventually, but not right now.
Okay. Well, I was going to talk about my house guest.
Man, she's gone.
So I had a house guest for 2 months. I tried to do a good deed for someone, and I learned that...
Wait. Let's go back for a second.
Okay.
Explain the good deed you did, in your opinion.
I had a friend who had fallen on hard times, like I had, in L.A., and someone reached out and helped me out and gave me a place to stay, and I, got my life going again and picked up from, and started over.
Yep.
And so I figured it was my...
Pay it forward.
I should do the same for this person who'd been a friend of mine for a long time. And I offered my place as a place to stay. And I said 3 months, and then, get a job. Because that's how long it took me to, really just get on my feet and be, ready to fly out of the nest, you know what I mean? And after 2 months, there was no progress. And then I realized this person was beyond my help due to, let's say, mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And it was true trial for 2 months. Like I saw a lot of weird shit that became normalized. I just roll with it. A lot of I don't know if I should get into the specifics.
You should.
I should.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, there was like
maybe not specific, but to the point, right? You know.
I mean, there was just weird shit, like weird, bizarre behavior that I've never seen. That I was just like, wow, I can't help this person. This person is.
And you fucking lived in LA with some unique people.
And I've done a lot of weird shit, and this was like beyond anything I've ever like dealt with. I'm talking like
Allegedly.
Downward dog yoga poses for an hour with an apple in their mouth because they had TMJ with a vibrator in their ear because they thought there was a chip implanted in there, to the point where they would be like, oh, and it was called an eargasm because it felt like it was relieving the pain. And then like self-flagellation with like a dominatrix whip, like all this stuff was going on in my, in my apartment,
right here at the counters. We're
right
folks,
right
we're
behind the counter at Counterpoints. And then eventually it all came to a head yesterday. And 5 cops and 2 mental health workers later, I have my place back, like to myself. And so I celebrated by taking LSD and going to see Avatar 2 last night. And I was like joyous. It was the best time. I didn't even know I was tripping because of like the color and the light and the shots. It was so much stimulus, like so overwhelming that I didn't even know I was tripping until I like took a pee break. It's 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And I got up and I was like wobbly, and all of a sudden I started seeing all the kaleidoscope patterns, and I was trying to get to the bathroom. Oh my God, tripping face. But like, and as far as the movie goes, Avatar 2 is basically like porn. Because you're not in it for the script, you're in it for the visuals. You know what I mean? Because the story was redonkulous.
It was the first fucking film, right?
Well, they set it up for another sequel. Yeah, and it was just ridiculous. But man, if you see it, definitely take some psychedelics, some shrooms, some LSD, some Lucy, whatever. Not that I advocate doing drugs, so I'm going to take back everything I just said. Just go see it, enjoy, however you choose to enjoy things. But yeah, definitely take some hallucinogenics. But so I highly recommend it for you, buddy. I don't know if you are into that sort of thing, but
I can't. I love hallucinogenics. I love
hallucinogens. I think, yeah. Sorry, I messed that up.
Yeah, I love everything, fungus, all that stuff. But
do you know how much space you need to grow fungus?
Yeah,
as mushroom as possible.
Oh, God damn it! See that one coming.
Sorry. Anyway, so you can't take them?
No, I can, because I'm an adult and I can do what I want. But besides that point,
you're not allowed. Mommy's gonna be mad at you.
No, my wife has seen me on mushrooms. My wife has seen me on Molly. My wife has seen me on Budweiser.
I've never seen you on Molly. I think that's going to be hilarious.
I mean, honestly, Molly's probably something I should take daily. That's,
okay.
That's like someone's anxiety pills, or
that's true, like for PTSD and stuff, psilocybin, MDMA.
I should have some PTSD because I've been some interesting things in my life, but I don't think I have PTSD. I have been hit by lightning twice. Maybe we discussed that before.
You got hit by lightning?
Twice.
Come on, stop it.
Not even lying.
I shouldn't have made that thunderstruck joke. Are you serious? I need to know this. Tell me this story.
All right. So here we go.
Were you on a golf course or something?
So not quite.
This is amazing.
Yeah, not either one. Okay, so here's the deal.
All right, water break. All right, go ahead.
First one was when I was like 6 years old. So I would have been like kindergarten, right?
Yeah,
first grade around there. Yeah. And kind of where we grew up in the wilds of Montana. We had a lot of free time in areas that were unincorporated. We didn't have a lot of like subdivisions. And anyways, we went to a lot of field stuff, played a lot of fields. And one time we were playing field, and it was just innocent. We were just something we did all the time with tag or something like that. And when we were on our kind of way, we found everyone. We were like, oh man, the clouds are really weird. Like they're this green. Like we've never seen it like this as kids, right? Yeah. And sure enough, it was like a thunderstorm, lightning storm, and so it started, I wouldn't say raining bolts, but kind of like they were pretty quick, like poof, poof. And we were I mean, you know, a half mile from our house, where we lived. We're up in this big dirt lot. And as we're coming through a dirt lot, as we found out, like a bolt hit in front of us, probably like, I don't know, let's say 1,500 feet. So not close, but pretty close.
That's
right?
close. That's too close.
Yeah. I mean, we could hear it, right? It knocked us, the three of us, on our ass. And
really, like the concussion from the blast?
So what we found out is where it hit, it travels through ground, right? And so we got a lesser, but still a big hit from whatever, you know, was traveling through ground, and that's what knocked us on our ass. But it was also far enough away that the main electricity that probably would have killed us was already dispersed by the time it got to us.
Right.
So that was the first time I was hit by lightning, right? So second time I was hit by lightning. True story.
Yeah. I'm just marveling that this didn't make the first interview, but go ahead.
Well, we'll call this 54. This is the 54th in other interview. So the time on that one was pretty crazy. It's kind of like what you and I are doing tonight, but a little bit more. Just in the fact of like, it was more philosophical. So I'm with a good buddy of mine from college, and we're leaving to go intern in DC. And this is back when interns were good and didn't do
BJs,
you know, right? Yeah.
Did other
I
jobs,
want to
not the nature
confirm
of blow.
no blow jobs, no things on blue dresses. Fun, we had a good time, but on the way out, right, we were driving, and my buddy, he was a little bit of a pothead. And he's like, hey, let's get a bunch of pot and drive out. It's a week, right? We're going to drive out. We're going to go to see our buddy in Nantucket, and we're going to stop in Chicago to my cousin. Like, all right. I said, well, yeah, that's cool, man. Just, we've obviously smoked before, but I said, I'm leaving what was now my wife at that time. Like, she's my girlfriend, but now my wife. And I'm like, I'm leaving for 3 months. And things hard and whatever. So we leave out, and I stayed up with my wife super late, right? And just talking about Beethoven.
You know what Beethoven's favorite fruit was?
We were totally fucking. So we were having a good time, and we were done. And so I had to go. And I only had like 2 hours of sleep because we'd been up for so long. And go out, and my buddy, and sure enough, dude, he found somehow, and this guy, super nerd, awesome kid, but he found a fucking like pound of weed for us to drive from Missoula, Montana to basically Washington, D.C.
Yeah, with the
we're
stops
going
in
to go up
between.
to Nantucket and stuff, right? Yeah. And we got stoned the whole fucking way. And here's what saved our life. Second time I got hit by lightning. Sorry, I had to get up to that point, but and there was some fucking shenanigans there, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
So
trip.
Here we are. The next day, we're on the way out, and we get the stupid fucking alarm at like noon, and my buddy's driving because I got a little fucked up, and I'm gonna take a little nap, and he's driving out, and he's like, yeah, so we got some really bad storms coming up in like Pennsylvania, because that's kind of where we're at. We're up through Minnesota and on the Great Lakes, and it's like, but it's probably fine. I'm like, fuck, we're from Montana, dude. We have fucking blizzards, right? That one
you
fucking
guys can
time of
deal
year.
with harsh weather.
We know.
Yeah.
Right. And so, sure enough, like an hour later, he wakes me up. He's like, hey, man, just look outside. Now, to be fair, he wakes me up and he hands me a bolt, right? Because he's been smoking the whole way. He's driving, by the way.
Nice.
And we're just outside of Pennsylvania on the bottom half of, what is that, like Spear or whatever's down there. And so we're coming up, and it is weird. Like, I wake up, and this is like so let's call it like 1:30 in the afternoon in Pennsylvania, which should be like sunshiny, but it's black. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't register. But as I come out of it and kind of figure it out, I do see the green clouds that he's talking about. He's like, yeah, man. He goes, I think we're in the fucking tornado.
Jesus.
Right. And so I'm like, thanks for waking me up. I mean, I could have slept with that shit.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, the plane's going to crash.
Thanks, man.
No,
right.
Yeah.
We're almost there. Yeah. So, like, okay, well, it was just, let's keep going. I mean, what do we do? He's like, yeah, I know. What do we do? That's it.
Well, if you're in the car, you're safe.
Sorta. So, actually,
The cage and the rubber tires.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. So that what Greg says is true. But when you're not safe is when there's an E4 just bouncing around.
Tornado. Yeah. That's
You're from the Midwest. You get that? So as we're driving by and they're like honking on the thing, and I'm woken up now, dude. We were at Erie, Pennsylvania. We saw the sign, and they said, you need to get out of that area. There's an F4. And we look over, and it probably was an F5, honestly. It was a big, like, you could see it. It was so far away that, two stupid Montana kids were like, whatever, that's not going to hit us. But not knowing how quickly that goes, right? We have no idea, right?
Yeah.
And we're in this vortex of just shit, right? Like, but then it stops. There's no rain. There's no... the only thing there is lightning just going thump, thump, thump. And it's like every 2 seconds, right? It's this weird electricity cloud. Well, we found out later that we were in the vortex of the E4 or 5, right? Even though it was, far away that we couldn't see.
It was an F5. It was an MF.
It was so big, right? that the cloud thing, right? It was an MFer.
Yeah.
So there's nothing we do. We just keep driving. And that's what we did. We just kept driving. And he's like, well, what can we do here? I'm like, here, just hit this. So we hit the weed a little bit more. I was not driving. No, I need to verify.
No, I get it. I would have done it.
To this day, I swear on my life. I mean, listen, we'll talk about my 19 lives some other day, but this one was for sure like one of my 9, right? As he's telling me this, and my feet are up on my little Acura Integra, and it's 1:30, but just dark blackout, right? And we can not see the tornado, but we can see the lightning go thump, thump, thump. We get to the edge of the storm, and it's not even within 30 seconds of what I'm talking about, and it's like sideways rain. Like you can't see, like you can't even put a wiper up that fast.
Right.
And it's just crazy, like how it just went boom, boom, like that, right? And as we hit the fucking, and to be fair, there's a couple of cars ahead of us, right? We didn't know them, but there's just, everyone's going 60 when you could be going 90, but everyone's slow and kind of figuring out. Well, as we get through, right, pretty much about 10 seconds after all that fucking storm wind, all of a sudden, boom, and it sounded like a shotgun went off in our car, in like the compact area. And to this day, the only reason I'm here talking to you and telling this story is because my friend was so stoned that his reaction time was 0. So when he thought I was playing with to be fair, listener, scener, I was playing with a lighter. You can make it bigger and make the flame bigger and stuff. And I was doing that in the car just because I was stoned, really stoned. And so I was doing that, and he was watching me kind of make it. So he thought that I messed with it too much, and
it exploded.
Exploded because it sounded like a shotgun went off in the car.
It's weird how your brain will put together, like, you try to like rationalize stuff. You're like, oh, that couldn't have been what actually happened.
Right.
It's like, oh, it must have been this, and it happens like that. Like when you're halfway in a dream or out, you hear a noise and it incorporates into your dream.
Yep.
So he thought you exploded the lighter,
and he literally turned over and looked at me thinking that I was going to be like badly burned, like Michael Jackson Pepsi scars, right? That's terrible.
Keeping the references current.
Yeah, keeping the references current for sure. We're going to talk about Biggie Smalls later. So, and sure enough, he looked at me and he's like, "Oh, you're the guy I just saw a minute ago." And
this is very informal. I had the faucet running during the recording.
Totally understandable. So
Can't get a noise complaint.
No good. She's back.
Oh God.
So
they're back.
At the end of the day, we figured it out as we pulled off slowly. Literally, my buddy's probably going 95 and all this stuff, which
that's insane.
Yeah,
and
no,
when
it
you
is.
can't see,
In my
the
little-
wiper blades can't keep up.
And this is again 20 plus years ago, in my Acura Integra that was probably 20 years to that.
That's a life right there. Just the driving alone like that.
So we pull over, and luckily one of the people in front of us actually pulled over, and they're like, "Oh my God, are you guys okay?" Because we got out, right? And we got out, I'm on this side, he's on that side. We realized we were fine, but we also realized, like, my car, the hood, my Integra was smoking. Like, it was fucking just straight smoke coming from my hood. And this guy comes out from in front of us in the car, and he's like, hey, are you guys okay? And we're like, yeah, what?
You're all high.
We're high.
Yeah.
We don't know that a shotgun didn't go off in our car. We have no clue. We're just like,
And they saw it.
right, and they saw it, and they're like, yeah, we saw the lightning. It hit your fucking car and illuminated the whole fucking valley. And it was, right? But because we were on rubber tires.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we were in a Faraday carriage,
Rubber,
right?
It's like a moving insulator.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's a ground.
And the same with the first time. Same with the first time I got hit. It traveled through the ground so far that, yeah, if we were closer, maybe it could have been some damage. But it was so far, right, that it just knocked us on our ass. So that is how I've been hit by lightning twice.
Wow, dude. You should play the lottery. Well, you kind of do have those, like, insane,
I
like,
do.
against all odds moments.
I do.
Pretty common.
Oh, that was one thing. Oh, and that's fucking scary. Looking at the clock right there, right? It says, what, 11:31.
Yeah.
So I need to tell you
is that
about the
scary?
11-mile challenge.
Okay.
That's something, and this is how we all of a sudden get into episode 54.
Okay. 11-mile challenge. Let's go.
This is new. It's something I don't think you and I have had a chance to talk about. So I absolutely love the paranormal. Do I believe in it? Actually, I kind of do.
I do too. There's too many stories and
They're-
too many things
weird
that
things,
can't be
right?
coincidence.
Yeah, right. I agree. But then, you get the stupid internet stuff. They're like, oh my God, you just put in deepfake. But I do believe in it. And I probably have, as my first book and a little bit of my second book have pointed out, I may have searched it out a little bit just to test the waters and validity.
Stormy got into that too, like all last year during COVID too. She did the Spooky Babes, where her and her friends would go to like these haunted places,
worst haunted places,
and do like the
type
paranormal
places.
investigation stuff. And like she's showing me like camera footage, and there's just like weird like anomalies that appear like on the video. It's like, oh my God, like there's something. Like the Hotel Jerome in Aspen where I work was haunted. The Water Boy, where it's like this kid was like left unattended by his parents in one of the hotel rooms and drowned in the bathtub way back when.
Like Elise Lamb?
And like you always get reports of like the water turning on in the room on its own and stuff like that. And then like dude, when I would close at night, going into the kitchen was so spooky, dude. Like you could feel something,
Here we go. All right. So Greg just led us into a perfect area. So let's tell each other, you first, your greatest ghost story. Like, I don't care how long it is. I don't care if it's 20 minutes. I don't care if it's 2 minutes, right? Tell me your greatest ghost story. And let's listen, listener, scener, carabiner,
All right.
superiner. So
So I'm 13 years old,
okay.
and my best friend at the time, Teddy, we're like, always sleeping over each other's houses.
Wait. Ruxpin?
No. I don't know if I should say his last name. I don't know. So it's my best friend Teddy.
Puxpin.
We were messing around with like paranormal and occult stuff because we're 13. You know what I mean?
Okay, so I'm not going to get into years here, but tell me how you're messing around with paranormal.
I don't want to because I feel like every time I tell the story,
You're doing like crucifixes upside down.
No, Ouija board.
Oh, okay.
Ouija board stuff.
Dude, beginner stuff. All right.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So we were like, freaking ourselves out all the time.
All right.
And then one night, I'm sleeping over his house, and this is what goes down. We're playing Ouija board all night. We're spooked. We're watching horror movies in the background. And
Give me some background on the horror movies. What
we were
they?
watching Ouija. We were watching, oh God, what was the name of that movie? Truth or Dare. That was a horrible one.
Ouija.
Yeah, the one with Tawny Katane, David Coverdale's wife from Whitesnake.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Tawny. Like she got stuck in her shower and the glass wouldn't open the door, and then the water turned on really hot, and like she couldn't get out, so she had to like crash through the glass and cut herself all over the place. Like that was one of the scenes. But I hate when my nudity is mixed with like violence and blood. Like I don't like that. But that's horror movies because like the virginal person never gets killed. They always survive to the end. It's the people that do drugs and have sex that always get punished and killed and murdered first.
And
always with a phallus of some kind, like a knife or like you know what I mean? It's always like it's like a sexual killing. Anyway, moving on. So we're freaked out and it's time to go to bed. It's like 3 a.m, the devil's hour.
course.
So
For sure.
I sleep on the floor. He's in his bed. He's like, hey, can you shut off the light? And it's on the opposite side of the room. Before I get up and shut off the light turns out on its own. Then this like poster of Lita Ford where she's in that like catwalk pose with her guitar, but she's like topless. Like that thing comes off the wall. And it's not near either of us like reach. And then we start hearing all this like...
How is this attached to the wall?
Like push pins.
A lot of push pins?
Four tacks in each corner.
So, a strong gale isn't going to get rid of that thing.
But we're also in a basement bedroom with the window shut, so there's no wind blowing through.
Not a lot of gales. Got it.
Not a lot of gales. So, then we start hearing all this clatter outside, like this just ruckus. Can you describe the ruckus, sir? It sounded like pots and pans and shit like that. Like there was a lot of stuff under the stairs in the little closet because it's a basement, like finished basement bedroom where he is. Mm-hmm. And we get freaked out. Like that's it. Someone's in the house. Something is in the house. So we grab Bibles and knives, and we are gonna go out and like kill whatever is out there. We don't know. And so being the brave soul that I am...
Stop. Yeah. No, let's go back here for a second, because we needed to address that.
Yeah.
Bibles and knives.
Bibles and knives.
Okay, so how big are the knives?
Teddy's got like the Rambo one, like the hunting one with the compass underneath it with the serrated edge.
Like a K-bar.
And I've got like a 4-inch buck knife.
A flippy. Got it.
Yeah, so we're ready to go. Being the brave soul that I am, I let Teddy go first. So I'm right behind him. He's got the bigger knife.
Yeah. And bigger body.
No, he was like smaller than me, but like
bigger defense move. Got it.
So
you did it right.
We go for the door. We're like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. He opens the door, and we both see this flash of light. And he gets so scared, he throws his arms up like behind him, and I'm right behind him, and that's when the knife was coming at my eye. And I turned my face just in time, and he sliced my face. That's how I got the scar on my face.
No.
Yes.
True story?
True story. I'm not lying. This is how I got the scar on my face. I never tell the story, but that's how I got stabbed. And I had to get my poor mom gets a phone. He's like, did I get you? I'm like, I don't know. I couldn't feel anything. All of a sudden, I just felt warm, wet.
Yeah. All
over me. Blood just spilled down me. Like it was in my waistband, in my underwear. It was between my toes.
And listener. So, just so you can understand, like this scar, it's pretty hideous. Like we have called Greg Jekyll and Hyde for many years, and the Hyde is the scar. Like this thing is like Die Hard with a vengeance.
Yeah, it's a gross scar. Yeah. Actually, the plastic surgeon did a pretty good job because it was a gaping wound. I could put my tongue through it.
I can't see it. It's like a 1-inch maybe thing.
Oh, because I got the beard, but yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
But it goes all the way down. It goes like down to there. But he sliced my face. My poor mom has to get a phone call. He's like, I stabbed my friend. His parents wake up. I'm covered in blood on the landing of the split level house flight of stairs. He freaks out. The parents come out. They have to call my mom at 3 a.m, tell her I've just been stabbed in the face. She has to meet us at the hospital. The surgeon gets called. I was afraid to look at it. When I finally looked at it, I was like horrified. I was like, wow, I'll never be a teen model. And then got surgery, 5.5 hours of microsurgery because you have so many nerves in your face.
That was the moment that you thought you would not be.
No, I'm kidding. That's just a joke.
That is the moment.
No, it's a joke. Come on. So I had to go 5.5 hours of microsurgery, tying all my nerves together. I had to do 6 months of physical therapy to get like the muscles in my face to work again. And I had to use a TENS unit, which is like these little electrodes that you attach to your face.
And electricity. Make it go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it gets them to jump.
That's like what Bruce Lee did with his abs.
Okay, yeah, it's like that. Yeah, like your face quivers out and everything. And I had to go to physical therapy, which was terrible because I'd be sitting there waiting in line. Somebody's like trying to learn how to walk again, and I'm going in there and making stupid faces when it's my turn. trying to smile, but I only have like 80% use of the left side of my face, and I have a crooked smile, so people think I'm kind of, shifty.
Pictures, or it didn't happen.
And
do we have pictures we can put up on the website?
No, dude.
On the Patreon website. If you're a Patreon, you're going to get some interesting pictures. By the way. You're going to get some pictures of Greg in his yesteryear.
Yeah, with my scar. And my face swelled up for like 3 months. And the way my scar looked and the way the stitches were, when you got the stitches out, it looked like the top of a football laces.
Okay.
And so when I would walk through high school, the halls, like the seniors would like walk by me and then puff their cheek to like make fun of me. They'd puff out one cheek and just like make fun of me like all the time. And then finally it went away.
Any chance they called you Squirrel Boy?
No, but I had to like, it's like I was storing a cantaloupe in my face. And then I couldn't play sports anymore or anything like that because I couldn't get hit in the face with anything.
Oh, because
like no like soccer
kill you?
Ball deflecting. No, but it would just like fuck up all the nerve, like
in that,
because it was like super like not fragile. I don't know.
Wait, how long did you have that?
I got it when I was 13.
And you've had it since you're 42?
I'm 47.
Fuck.
Yeah, so I've had it a long time.
You look so young.
Yeah,
It's
all that clean
it's
living.
a scarring.
Yeah, it's all the clean living.
Hey, listen, and that's a great segue into today's sponsor, Chevron, Clean Living.
Brought to you by alcohol and
Brought
mushrooms.
to you by Budweiser.
So that's my ghost story.
Okay, awesome. Now, to flip it a little bit, and someday I'll tell my ghost story, but
What?
not today.
I thought you were going to tell your ghost story.
No. So, question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember your first real girlfriend? When I say real girlfriend, not like, your 8th grade girlfriend that you were with for like a week. I'm talking about
my real
your
girlfriend.
high
4
school
years.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Perfect.
4 years, all through high school. Yeah, our Dick Tracy.
Oh, that's funny. Me too. But
the movie Dick Tracy was our first movie, our first date.
with Madonna?
Yeah, and Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty?
Yeah, that was our first date.
God, it's a terrible movie.
I remember, I don't know anything about the movie other than I took my jean jacket off and put her hand on my dick, and then she gave me a hand job while I had my stonewashed, bleached denim jacket with the Poison logo sewed into it. She gave me a handy.
Whew.
Yeah, also 13.
Super different than my first date with my first girlfriend. It was totally terrible. It was like we were having a pool party. Like it was fucking. I'm a freshman, right? Because I met her in freshman, and we all hung out. And she was like a friend of a friend, and I liked her big brain about she talked chemistry. Like God, back in high school, I was really hot on chemistry. Is a Walter White thing.
Yeah.
But I remember her from this day, and what's funny is like, you stay in touch in a little bit ways. Wait, hold on. Maybe I should back that up. Do you still stay in touch with your first girlfriend?
Yeah, we sure do. We stay in touch.
Like just genuine, like hi, hey, whatever.
Absolutely.
It's not like you're
we
not
talk about everything. Like
you're not
I know
zooming.
everything
You're not
about
zooming on Thursdays, right?
No.
But just
Like once a month.
you're
once
on a
every 2
social
months.
thing, right?
Yeah.
I have less than that. Like I probably my ex-girlfriend, my first girlfriend, probably once a year type of thing. Talk, but it's kind of fun to see the other person's life that you were involved in for so long, right?
Yeah, like how it turns out.
Fuck, I have zero clue where all this was starting from and going from.
You asked me if I remember
Sponsored
my first
by
date.
Adderall.
Well, my first real girlfriend, and you were talking.
Oh
about
yes, so that's it. Your first real girlfriend, and I have some notes here, folks. So
Do you have notes really for Counterpoints
I do.
that you wanted to talk about?
Look, says
oh my
great-
god, look at
says
this! All
great
right,
counters.
let's go.
All right. What is your first true? What is your first true girlfriend doing right now?
She is raising her daughter, a single mom, and battling cancer. So not really working, but just in fighting for her life.
Okay, that was not what I expected, but that's the truth, right?
And she always said she was going to get cancer because her mom had cancer. When she was in high school, she always said it.
Dude, I've said this to Greg a million times. Like, there's something weird parallel with Greg. I love this guy, but there's something. It wasn't just the first time we met and we both write books, right? But there was something weird, right? There was a parallel with you that I always loved. Even my wife, who's not met you, right? But it's like, oh my God, she knows, right? And there is that thing. So my first girlfriend, and this is not to take over your first girlfriend thing.
Yeah.
It's just to add to what the fuck you just said. So my first girlfriend is actually the director, the professor, the director of a cancer institute
Jesus.
at University of Utah.
That's crazy.
Right?
Wow.
That's so low. I know it's on that side and that side, but that's pretty stupid. And I find that a lot with Greg. If you're stupid,
you don't get along with
is
Greg?
that bad?
No. Oh, God, we're ridiculous. Yeah, that was my first girlfriend. And then my second serious girlfriend in college, she's now like a fashion designer making a bunch of money. Like her last Facebook post I saw was like, only a few more hours left in this tax bracket. I think she sold something to Target that she designed. It's like, so she's set.
So it wasn't her OnlyFans debut?
No. She could have had that too.
That could have been. I mean, hey, listen,
We had
more
a blast.
power to you.
She was my college education. Like you said, you like the big brain on your girlfriend with the chemistry. Like this girl, she introduced me to, like, she cultured me. Like everything that I know that's cool came from her.
Nice.
Yeah. Just a naturally curious mind, investigates, like, just reads the best books, watches the best, not movies, films. You know what I mean? She's just awesome. Well-traveled, like, just amazing.
And good that you still, stay in touch, right?
No, not really. We don't stay in touch, no. Because I was bad and she knew it.
It's good that you guys send masturbation videos to each other. Cut that out.
No, I do have some like girlfriends like that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, good for
A
you.
lot of fun
Good for
FaceTimes.
you.
A lot of fun FaceTimes.
Some of us don't get that. Some of us have been,
Some of us are married.
married for a minute, long while. Okay, so
It's a trade-off.
back to you. Recently, you got together with your old band.
What are you interviewing me right now?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I went
Yes,
home.
I'm actually. Yeah. And how'd that go?
It was good, man. We jammed. Like, had the bass player who's now like doing session stuff in Nashville and touring with country bands. Like, he took time off and came back to play, and like we played a couple nights in a row, and it was awesome.
Did it feel good?
It felt great. We sounded awesome. It was
Normal,
like,
back to the
it sounded
boys.
like we never we didn't miss a beat, man. It was great.
And you were singing, right?
I was singing, yeah. And because I worked in the karaoke bar, and I'm always like going to karaoke, and I'm always singing in the shower, so I always kept my voice in shape.
Yeah.
And we sounded great. The band was tight, vocals were on point. It was good. We tried to do some stuff that was like a little out of our range. Now that we're older, chewed the voices.
Wait, hold on. Let's give the listener a good nugget here. So give us one bar from that song.
Oh, no, I don't want to do it.
Come on.
No, I've
You have to.
been vaping and stuff, and I don't want to get a noise complaint.
Hold on, I'll get the drums ready.
Well, the one that we tried to do, that was too hard, doesn't even have drums. It just has like cymbal rolls. Love is on the Way by Saigon Kick.
Love is in the way.
No, it's Love is on the way. That one, yeah.
Wait, didn't the dude from Saigon Kick, didn't Vince Neil kill one of the Saigon Kickers?
No, that you're thinking of Hanoi Rocks.
Hanoi Rocks.
The other,
Goddamn,
Vietnam.
Hanoi, Saigon.
Yep.
Fucking, always get my fucking Montana names mixed up.
That band Mekong Delta is kicking ass and taking names, though. Just kidding. That's terrible.
Too soon?
So anyway, Beethoven's favorite fruit is a banana.
Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na. Oh, yeah. All right, so here we are, episode 54.
Went back, saw the band, saw my mom.
Yeah.
My mom she wasn't well, and now she's good, and we had a good time. We hung out. My buddy in the band, my guitar player, bought me cowboy boots. How's that? I live in the West. I don't have cowboy boots. I go back to Massachusetts. Cowboy boots.
Why did you just feel like...
Because he makes fun of my morels because they look like slippers to him. He's like, you need some actual footwear. You got slippers
And
on.
he feels that cowboy boots are...
Cowboy boots, yeah. Because he's like, Bon Jovi, like rock and roll, covered in tattoos, boots, guitar, long hair. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it got me boots and like a cool podcasting setup with like headphones and another mic and a stand. And I forgot that, so it's still there.
Is that where you kind of learned your podcasting skills from?
No, that was just trial and error. That was from doing Kid Amazing, doing all my dialogue.
Yeah, let's talk about Kid Amazing for a second.
Okay.
Let's give you a little plug, right, on my show. So here we are, Derek 106.5, and we're with Greg Studley, and he's about to fucking drop some science on you. Next year, or the next year after that, you're going to be watching some Netflix and be like, God damn, Jason Bateman got fucking Ozark Point 2.
Oh, you're talking about the show for Netflix or Kid Amazing?
Yeah, no.
The Netflix show?
Well, we'll talk about both, but I was talking about the Netflix show first, right?
Okay, that's what we're trying to sell to Netflix or Amazon or HBO Max. It's like a 6-episode limited series.
So
I can't really talk about what it is, but it's a drama in the vein of Breaking Bad, Ozark, Dexter kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
It's going to be dark. It's a thriller, drama. It's not comedy. It's the first thing my writing partner and I wrote that's not comedy. And it's probably our best thing.
Well, they say go against the grain, right?
Yeah. It's coming out great. So we're working on that. We got episode 2 done. 4 more episodes to write. We got a producer in LA who likes it, and he's shopping it right now. And at the same time, we're attacking Kid Amazing. We just recorded all our stuff from episode 3. Because episode 2 is done.
That's right.
You haven't heard that.
Nope.
I have that.
Nope.
And I'm waiting on Stormy's dialogue.
To.
Stormy's been up in the news, though, fighting all this stuff right now lately. So
Stormy's been vindicated. Good job, Stormy.
Yeah, but she's going through, she's
Everyone
got that
knew
show,
it.
DILF, the
Right.
gay dating show and stuff like that coming out. And
Ooh, God, she got a lot.
yeah, she's got a lot going on. So
Good
I'm just waiting for
Stormy.
her to get her dialogue done. We're going to try to record it all at once and then release it. So it could take, I'd say, about 8 months out.
Listen, if she can't do it and she break contract, I'll do it, bro.
Okay, you'll be Stormy's
Yeah,
voice?
I'll be Stormy's
I appreciate that. Thank you,
Yep.
buddy.
Oh, give it to me.
She does have a lot of sexual innuendo lines.
I love that penis.
Did I ever tell you about the bet that we had that
No.
we made?
But tell me about the bet.
Last Super Bowl, so this is good timing. She calls me, I'm at work, or she texts me.
So, listener from Australia, Super Bowl is this thing that we do here in America. It's like they throw this pigskin and stuff.
It's bigger than Christmas.
Yeah, Tom Brady is Jesus.
Yeah. And so she texts me. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm at work. She's like, on the Super Bowl? I'm like, yeah, what are you doing? She's like, I'm at the Super Bowl. So anyway, she's going to do this paranormal investigation thing in Denver. And so she wants to get
Full
together.
circle. Here we go with the paranormal.
So we make a plan to get together, right? And I go, hey, so when you get out here, let's make a little bet. She's like, what do you want? I'm like, well, if my team wins and you're out here, I want thigh-high boots, fishnet stockings, garters, crotchless panties, and a cupless bra. She goes, okay. And I forgot what she said. Like, she wanted if I won, because it didn't matter because my team lost. And she goes, what size are you?
Wow.
What a pisser. It was hilarious.
Wow.
She's funny, man. And anyway, it got delayed, and then because her production crew was doing something and whatever, and she never showed up, and so we never got to do it. And now she's married.
She's married?
She got married recently to some guy that she knew back in way back when. But then I was like, does this ruin our chances? She's like, are you kidding me?
We're swingers. We do that all the time.
I'm like, sometimes I forget who I'm talking to.
Yeah, right. Dude, that's awesome. So we talked about that. What about Kid Amazing? Give us a little shout
I just
out.
did. Yeah. It's it's going to be good, man. 8 months out from hearing it. I'll be releasing it 8 months latest. I got a new engineer. Our former engineer is still doing all his characters and recording voices. He just doesn't have time to put it together. So I hired another guy that's local.
So, and tell the listener from Australia, is this for Zoom or
No,
podcast?
It's going to be another podcast.
It's not a podcast, right?
In the vein of a 50s radio drama, essentially a movie.
Like an
without
Orson
pictures.
Welles type of very...
Or Mr. and Mrs. North or Lone Ranger, Dragnet, the shows that you used to listen to in the 50s. And you'd gather around the radio and you'd hear car engines and wind and sirens and people talking and footsteps and stuff like that with some music score. Yeah, it's like that.
Nice.
It's going to be great. I wish I could play a clip, but I can't reveal anything yet.
And again, for the listener, you know, Greg's done a lot of things. The one thing he can't tell you, but I can because I'm not breaking contract, is that he may or may not be in the new Bad Boys 4.
Bad Boys 4.
Yep. He might be the new detective, lead sergeant agent guy, but I cannot confirm or deny that.
Yeah.
You'll have to kind of listen through all these iPods and maybe some of the... Actually, you know where you might find some real truth and nugget? And I want to be real here, Greg. If you get to the Patreon page here on the Cocktails and Dreams bar,
Counterpoints.
Thing, shit, fuck. You'll find out a little bit more. Find out a little bit more like this. This is episode 54, and I interviewed Greg. But
yeah, we're supposed to talk about what you thought about your interview. Let's get that in here, by the way. What did you think overall? Like, how do you feel about it?
I mean, even when I finally did listen to it, and I know that we're going back to that because
we did talk about that.
We started there, and then we went to a different path, and that's okay.
A strange path that we followed.
And that was my biggest concern was ADD, and it reared its ugly head. But that's okay. No, I thought it was great. I thought
no such thing as ugly head. It's all beautiful.
That's what she said.
It's like pizza.
That's what he said.
It's no bad pizza.
That's what she said. Except
for Little Caesars.
That's what the cat said.
That'll give you swollen colon.
Fucking dogs. All right, so I mean, overall, I give it an 8 out of 10. You did a great job editing the bullshit that I fucked up, right? Because I mean, we've had 2 or 3 waters at that point in time, and the ice cubes are kicking in, right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about fucking Compton ice cube. I'm talking about Montana ice cube. Those are kicking in, and it's fun. That's all good, and we probably droned on about some stuff like tonight. Actually, we didn't drone. All this is usable for Greg's episode. So I thought it was wonderful. As much as I told you earlier, I hate listening to my voice. I actually did listen to the whole thing. I was like, yeah, it actually worked. It's pretty funny. I liked it.
Yeah, no, it was great. I thought it was compelling the whole time. I was like, oh, tell me more.
Right. I've listened to all your episodes, and I loved all your former players. And
they're all going to be on Counterpoints on Patreon. I'm going to go back and get everybody.
Yep. This is episode 3.7.
Yeah. So any final thoughts?
We got a couple hours, so yeah, I got a couple final thoughts.
Oh, we can always do a part 2. Something else comes up.
There'll be a lot to come up. That's what he said. So, yeah, no. I did want. We started on something, and then I feel like we have to finish on it, right? So the 11-mile challenge.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Shit!
Back to it,
right? ADD. So I was in New Mexico, and I was traveling there for my previous job.
Okay.
And I was down there, and as I went down, I listened to podcasts and things of ill repute, like this podcast. And when you moved on to the next thing, and so I heard something, I don't remember what it was on. It was called the 11-mile challenge. And they talked about going in your car and you have to go out in this weird wilderness, and then you have to do this chant and get naked and use pepper. I ain't doing any of that shit, but do a lot. Pepper. And so it's come on. It's like the stuff we talked about earlier with the paranormal. I've been around some weird stuff, but this is stupid. You're going to go every mile and it's going to get worse, and there's demons on the side of your windows, and then all of a sudden your heater goes out. I'm like, this is stupid, right?
Yeah.
So stupid that it was in my head for 3 days. And so I'm down in New Mexico, and I'm with a client, and we're finishing up dinner, and New Mexico's Albuquerque's pretty slow these days. Just pandemic wiped some stuff out. And they're like, hey, listen, I'm going to go home. Yeah, I'm going to head back up to my hotel, which is, 30 miles north. And it was 8:30, so it was kind of early. So as I'm heading up, I'm like, oh, man, there's a crazy rainstorm, and I've been hit by lightning twice. I wonder if I can get hit the 3rd time.
You seeking it out.
Come on, let's do this.
Bring it.
Come on. Alec Baldwin can't kill everyone. So I was heading up there. That's Santa Fe related, just so we're clear. So I was heading up, and where I was at my hotel, it was kind of on the edge of Albuquerque. I'm like, all I'm going to do is go there and do stupid work. So let's do this 11-mile challenge. I'm just going to prove everybody wrong.
Okay.
So, mind you, I just left this pretty big rainstorm. It was monsoon season in Albuquerque. It was raining a lot, and it's coming my way. And to the side of the mountain that I've never been to, and I'm like, but this is a good place. This is exactly where you're supposed to get lost. Well, I didn't tell anybody I'm doing this. I just did it, right? It's
Right.
like
So no one knows where you are.
9
if someone
o'clock at
goes
night.
south.
Correct. And I get out there, and it's actually pretty beautiful. It's like kind of the Beverly Hills. Like Albuquerque, this is like very nice houses. There's big stuff. Not a lot of lights. Found out later it was a reservation. But you go through it, and it's, it's very dark and foreboding.
Yeah, that's where they go. Like you get those weird.
Which is exactly, I'm like, I can't mess this up. Like this 11 mile challenge. Okay, so let me give you a little background. You're going to do your own wiki stuff, which is fine. So if you win this 11-mile challenge, whatever wish you get, whatever you wished will come true. If you can make it
That's
through all
what I was
11
wondering. What
miles.
do you get out of this? Okay, cool.
Right? So the downside is if you don't make it through it, you're going to die.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it's pretty
extreme.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
No in between.
And all these YouTubers I watched that did the 11-mile challenge, they won. I'm like, God damn, YouTubers. Like, good on you. I can't believe you edited your win. So I'm like, this shit doesn't work. So I went through, I found some of the rules. You can find them online. I'm not going to go through all of them. But they're stupid. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to start, and I have to just kind of say I'm ready in the car, right? And then you have to shut off pretty much all your electronics, like your phone, your radio and stuff. Obviously not a car, and so I did that. And lo and behold, I'm in this kind of back alley woods, and what's supposed to tell you that you're starting is that you find a road, unpaved road. And I was on a paved road, but there was unpaved road on the right, and I'm like, oh fuck, cool, this is it. I'm starting. So turn off right. No one knows where I'm at, just so we're clear. It's 9 p.m. at this point in time, because it's about a half hour from my hotel was at, even though I was north. And there's a storm coming. So I turn off, I go down this road, and there's, some kind of cool houses down here. I'm like, God, this really does kind of remember Beverly Hills and the North Hollywood Hills. And it's just not obvious expensive. These are probably $300,000 homes. And going down there, and it leads me back to the main town, which there's only one post office in the main town. I'm like, well, but this was like 0.1 miles. Like, this wasn't my challenge.
Right.
Stupid. And so at that point in time, at 9:15, I probably should have turned around and went home. I did not.
Good.
And hence the story. So I decided, you know what? Let's go up a little further. Maybe that dirt road or whatever will present itself. And not even a mile later, I'm up there, and again, not really many lights, and I'm on the back of the mountain. I can kind of see some stuff, but sure enough, dirt road. Like, I just run onto a dirt road, and I'm like, oh yeah, my challenge has started. Yeah, 11 miles. Here we go, baby. So start my, I can't have electronics, but I can
get your odometer, your trip meter.
Exactly. So start that. Start going, and first mile, no big deal. Like, actually, there was some houses over here. Like, I'm in things. But I'm noticing that this dirt road is going up the mountain, right? If anyone who's been to Albuquerque and seen the mountains behind Albuquerque, you're going to understand what I'm saying. They're steep. They're very drastic. They're like Telluride type of stuff, right? But only right behind Albuquerque. Not to the plain, just right behind Albuquerque. You've seen Breaking Bad. So, get there, and I'm going through, and about mile 2, and that's when the road starts to get a little twisty, right? You go a little right, a little left. I'm starting to go up the mountain.
Jesus Christ. At night.
Let's remind everyone, no one knows where I'm at. No one.
No.
My wife, no one.
Probably wouldn't have courage if you put your phone back on anyway.
Correct. My phone's off, but Craig is correct on that point. My radio's off. Like, I can't have my car. I can only have my car. That's the rules, right? And now at mile 2, I'm waiting for my heater to go out. Well, it didn't go out. So I'm like, yeah, fuck you. This fucking stupid 11-mile challenge is stupid. Well, so now I'm on to maybe mile 3, and everything's fine. You're going switchbacks now. I'm definitely going up the mountain. It's still a dirt road. And what I realized in like that 4 miles, I'm like, damn, there's no one out here. Like, it's kind of a national park. I get I'm in a reservation, but it's a national park. Like, should be. I was like, maybe it's that stupid fucking monsoon storm coming. I don't know. Maybe people got out. Okay. So get up. I'm rolling through probably now about mile 5, and every mile something stupid is supposed to happen. Nothing has happened, right? Nothing, just so we're clear, has happened. And so it was mile 6. Of course it was, right? 666. So mile 6, I literally look at my odometer. Now things are getting a little weird. And I'm in my white Jeep.
Yeah.
Right? So
we have the same
this
view.
motherfucking 4-wheel drive monster. And I'm like, okay, well, it's getting pretty bumpy. Like, this is a true trail.
The road's starting to not be a road.
At mile 6, I took a left, and it was not just a road, but it was a washed out creek now, right? So there's still some remnants of whatever monsoon came down that time and like washed out the road. You could see it mill, and I'm like, I can't, I'm at mile 6. I can't, I'll die. Like, I will die if I turn around. Like, that's the rules. I got to keep going. So I did. And I'm rolling my Jeep. Like, now, I was, probably going like 3, 4, 5 miles an hour up the switchback. Right? It took a while. It took a while. And this gets worse. So, at this point in time, I'm probably mile 6, and it's 10. And it's a little foggy because the storm's coming in. The rainstorm I left like 2 hours early, and
This is horrifying. Yeah, go ahead.
and so I'm like, well, what do you do? I'm not gonna die, so I keep going. So I'm rolling up this fucking switchbacks, and they are straight up boulders. Like, I'm not talking like crazy, like 4x4 Jeep with monster wheels boulders. Those are crazy, but it was crazy. Like, I should not be driving up this, and I'm only at mile fucking 7.
Yeah, you got 4 to go.
Yeah, 4
Nobody
to
knows
go.
where you are. It's getting worse.
Correct. The rain's starting. So now about mile 7, I'm coming up, and I realize there should be people here. I'm passing a campground. There's a campground there, right? As I'm halfway up the
That's
fucking
kind of
backside of the
reassuring.
mountain. Except no one's there.
Right.
What's really not reassuring is as I'm driving by the fucking thing, there's a sign that should be a speed sign, and someone did the black spray paint and put in a pentagram. No shit, mile 7. I'm like, and everything in this 11-mile challenge is supposed to tell you, they're supposed to stop you. Like, ghosts are coming, like, whatever, like everything.
Pentagram.
Right.
Yeah, it's
At
not
mile
not because Motley Crue's about to play.
No, I sell 4 miles. So, still winding up this thing, and I'm not kidding you. At that point in time, mile 7, it was probably 10 o'clock. It took me another hour to get to almost 11. I'm at like 10 at this point in time. And some crazy shit has been happening. No ghosts on the side of my car. Sorry to report.
I saw that on Unsolved Mysteries, and it happened on a reservation in New Mexico. But anyway.
Yeah, that's where I was. But I was proving a point. And, there were some crazy things. And then all of a sudden, I finally get to the 11-mile mark. And I shit you not, it had been foggy the whole way up. I have no electronics, right? It's been foggy the whole way up. But as I hit mile 11, all of a sudden, the fog lifted. And I looked to my left at the place I just came down, and I'm at almost the top of this mountain. And again, if you've been to Albuquerque, you know the mountains I'm talking about.
If you see Breaking Bad, you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm at the top of that fucking mountain because I can see all the way down to the old
There's
Beverly
like
Hills
that
where I grew
temple
up.
where he buried the money, and then there's the mountains right there.
Yep. So for like those 2 hours, I slowly crawled up that mountain and did a lot of bouldering. And now I'm like, I get my shit. Like, yeah, I fucking won, right? So I have to do the Austin Powers thing because where this goes, the back of the road, it goes to a town behind Albuquerque, like Albuquerque's over here in this town. But I haven't been down that road. I know how terrible it was coming up, and now the rain is coming, right? And I'm like,
Not going back that way.
I might as well go back the way I know, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to go the way I don't know because that could be worse than the way I just came
Better
up.
the devil you know than the devil you don't.
Sponsored by Adderall. And so that's what I did. But I was on this little tiny dirt path road that no one knew where I was at. It's now 11 p.m., right? And as I'm doing the Michael Myers thing, right? The when he was in the little luggage cart, right?
Yeah,
it was
the
that's how
15,000
tiny.
point turn.
Right. That's how tiny this little dirt road that I have to kind of turn around so I don't go that way. I'm going to go this way. As I'm turning around and I'm almost ready, I finally did it, my 72nd turn, my fucking radio goes on. Boom.
On its own.
On its own and loud. Like just straight like, like, oh my God, why is it so loud, right? Like straight up. Scared the fucking piss out of me, right? Because I beat it, but there were some weird things, right? The pentagram, there's some other, no ghosts or anything, right? But there was just it was so dark.
Just eerie as fuck.
Because how foggy it was, like as you're coming these switchbacks, like I'm glad there was no one else up there because I probably they would have wrecked into me. Like it's that foggy that you can only
Plus,
see.
probably would have been a murderer hiding a body up there.
About that. So we haven't finished the story.
Oh, shit.
So,
Jumping ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know this story. Am I guessing
No,
right?
that's right. That's why it's a fun one.
Oh my God.
So as I finally get turned around, right, and the fucking radio blast, and I turn my radio off, and I'm coming back down the fucking road slowly, because now I'm going bouldering the other way. But at least I know the way. It's raining. It's not pouring. It's not like crazy like it was when I left 4 hours ago in Albuquerque. But as I'm coming down, right, and I'm going a little faster, and I know the roads, and I'm getting down, and sure enough, the storm went crazy, but it went past me, so like I was going slow, so it wasn't that really big a deal. But as I'm like a mile from where I know I started the journey to back to the pavement, where everything started, I'm going down these switchbacks, and I'm going down a switchback this way, and my lights are only going, probably 5 miles, right? So not very far. And by the time you hit switchback, that's about far, because you can't see, it's that dark.
Switchback,
out.
yeah.
And as I'm hitting that, I won't say last switchback because there's a couple more, but almost last switchback, there's a girl standing on the edge of the road, clear as day. I can see everything right now and tell you exactly. She was wearing like these weird overalls, like they're like what the Pennsylvania Dutch
The
people.
Oshkosh thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
right. But in just cream, but she wasn't looking at me. I could see her hair. It was styled. It was curly. She was looking down into whatever the valley was that I was switching back. And I'm like, what do I do? I mean,
Do you need a ride?
I mean,
What's going on?
so let me again preface that in this 3 fucking hour tour, like the Gilligan tour, right? 3 hour tour.
So your wish was to bang some strange chick?
No, not at all. We'll get to that in a second. So, right, that would be weird and crazy. No, but here's this fucking person. I'm like, dude. I mean, if you're out here and you just escaped a dungeon, good for you. I just went around the turn and kept going. I didn't stop.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have stopped.
It was too like horror movie, right?
Yeah, but I kind of like, oh.
And she wasn't looking at me. She was looking down at the thing. And so, who knows what it was. I will tell you this, listener from Auckland. It's one of those things like the ghost story. I can't explain. Like there's no science other than maybe I was so paranoid, and this has never happened in my life. Maybe I was so amped up that a tree looked like this girl with these cream overalls and a blue shirt, and she had curly brown hair, and she stood about 5'10". I guarantee, that probably wasn't my brain. But it could be, right? I can't guarantee one way or the other. And I just hope the best for her. I'm like, listen, I'm not stopping. That's...
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry. Like...
Plus the true crime rule, it's never a mannequin.
You had 0.3 miles to turn around and tell me something's wrong. But you didn't. You stared out into the netherland. And
She didn't signal you. She didn't flag you down or anything.
Nope.
Did she move at all?
so that's a great question. I don't really know. In my head, it was so quick, but I can, of course, recall what she's wearing and stuff. I don't really recall that she moved.
Okay. I wonder if it was like a... Oh, geez, I don't know.
I get done with that a mile later. I'm back on the highway, right? Back down to I'm heading to my hotel. And I'm just thinking, fucking, what the fuck did I just do? I did almost 4 hours up the side of the mountain that no one knew I was going through.
In a darkened storm.
In a darkened storm.
dark and stormy night.
Right, dark and stormy night. And so listeners, I wouldn't suggest doing that. But
Yeah.
I won. Now ask me what I won.
What'd you win?
Nothing. Straight bullshit.
What was your
Fucking
wish?
bullshit
Tell us.
story.
Can we wait on the wish? It hasn't arrived
It
yet.
hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah.
It could be, there's supposed to be at least like a 10-year curse thing. But I'll tell you, I've had some bad luck lately. So, I don't know if that's related to it, but
Yeah, I don't mess with it anymore. After that whole Ouija, I don't even mess with it. Like my roommate, like when I had my roommate, he got a Ouija board. I'm like, get that out of this apartment right now, dude. And he did.
my wife did that. She hated it. I got a Ouija board as a joke, and I literally had to go to the park down the street and throw it.
Yeah, dude, I got stabbed in the face because of Parker Brothers. You know what I mean? Like, it's so weird. It's like, you don't mess with it. I don't mess with it. I don't put my hand to it. I don't.
So in your last 42 years? 47 years on this earth.
Yeah.
Funny that we're both all the first 7 too. Oh no, I'm 48. Sorry, I'm older. But what is one thing that you regret? What's the one thing in 47 years that you regret? Not to get deep or
Yeah,
philosophical.
geez. No, I mean, one thing, there's a million things.
Right. That's why it's hard to get one thing,
Yeah,
right?
like the biggest
What was the worst, like the craziest? Not the worst, actually. It shouldn't even be the worst. I mean, it could have been learning point. Could have been like, dude, had I said a little louder, I could have been Gilbert Godfrey. Like what?
I mean, my mind just, I mean, this isn't the biggest one. I've talked about this on the podcast, but literally on that game show, when I said Africa after I said it should have been South America, and I said Africa anyway. Like, I could have won a bunch of money. I mean, and I just like, it was just like national television. Everybody saw it that I know. I was getting Facebook messages from strangers like, "Hey Greg, I saw your dog eat dog thing. Bummer you lost." Jesus Christ, dude, it's like awful. It's like my Casey at the bat moment. I felt like everything
And just, yeah.
everything kind of went south after that. I don't know.
I think there's a really good point in that. And I think every single person, including all your listeners, including all your Patreon listeners, those guys, they know it. They've all had that point. And I think that's important for us as a society, actually, to kind of call out and say, dude, we've all been a dumbass at some point in
Yeah,
time.
but that's how that makes you who you are and teaches you.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't let that define your life ever.
Yeah,
right?
and it doesn't. And
I'm
the
not
other thing
saying
is,
it does for you. I was just when you brought that up, I'm like, that's a really good point, right?
But I'll tell you this, like, you know what I regret is like that last 2 months when I was trying to help somebody out, because I learned, you know, like the property manager was yelling at me because of the scene that was made when the cops were here and everything. And he
All right,
goes,
folks,
he goes like this. He goes, Greg. He goes, look what you did. You tried to do something good, and it came back on you. So basically, the lesson learned was
Don't do anything
Yeah,
good.
it was the opposite of every lesson I grew up learning. It's like every TV show that had the moral of the story and everything that was like good. Like I was told by everybody I know, "What are you doing? Don't try to help." I was like, "Yeah, I guess you're right."
So now we jumped ahead because of ADD, but now you have to give the listener just a brief overview of what you're talking about, why you even had that last conversation, because they have no idea about the guest. Bless
Tried
your
to do
heart.
a good deed, but
Yeah. But she was
it
a
turned on me.
little wacko, right?
A lot. What's that?
One of those.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Anyway, well, we're at an hour and 20.
Well, this is Greg's episode. This is episode 54, right?
Yeah.
Greg's episode. And we're here talking with Greg about a lot of Greg, right? Greg's had a lot of...
We've done a lot of chants.
No, absolutely. But I think this would be fun if actually you had an episode on there. I think people would be actually very excited to
I
hear.
got the Buck Interviewed Me episode.
Yeah, that's true.
And I told you the ghost story and stuff, and then my recent freedom. I feel like William Wallace, you know, celebrated, went to Avatar, like I said. Yeah. So, yeah, that's where everything's at right now, folks. This has been Chance on Counterpoints, and we might come back and do some more. We'll see what happens, but for hour and 20, we're going to leave it there right now. And thanks for subscribing on Patreon, barbarians.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time. You want to say bye, Chance?
By chance.
Bye. By chance, do you want to say goodbye?
By chance, I would like to say bye. Appreciate y'all, and have a good night, and more stories to come.
All right, see you guys. Cheers.
Cheers.